Fear is the first monster you must face, and it doesn't roar, it whispers. It crawls quietly into your mind long before the world ever sees your struggle. Fear shows up when you take your first step, when you dream too big, when you try to break the limits people set for you. It wraps itself around your thoughts and makes the smallest challenges look like impossible mountains. It tells you to turn back, to stay comfortable, to avoid the path where growth demands pain. In the darkness of your journey, fear becomes the shadow that walks behind you, always waiting for the moment you hesitate. In places like Death Valley, fear becomes something more than a feeling. It becomes a presence. When you are alone with nothing but your breath and your heartbeat, fear reaches out with cold hands, testing your resolve, questioning your strength. It wants you to believe that you are too weak, too late, too broken. Fear thrives in silence. It takes advantage of your moments of doubt, feeding on your past failures and reminding you of the times you fell apart. The monster is patient. It doesn't need to chase you. It only needs to wait until you stop fighting. But fear does something else too. It reveals the truth about who you are. When everything around you is stripped away, when no comfort remains, and when you are forced to stand alone, fear becomes a mirror. It shows you the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. It exposes the limits you placed on your life, the excuses you've repeated, the strengths you never believed you had. Every time fear steps closer, you are given a choice. Run back to the life you know or step forward into the life you want. The first monster is never out in the world. It never lives in the shadows of a dark valley. It never lurks behind the hills or hides in the unknown. The first monster lives inside your mind, whispering reasons to stop, whispering reminders of failure, whispering lies about your potential. Fear controls you only when you allow it to, and before you face anything in life. Challenge, failure, success, hardship. You must face it. It will try to convince you that you are not ready, that you are not strong, that you are not enough. It will test your courage before the world ever does. And before anyone else doubts you, fear will try to make you doubt yourself. Your doubts grow stronger only when you feed them, and doubt is a creature that survives on the smallest pieces of your weakness. It starts quietly, almost harmlessly, as a single question in your mind. What if I fail? That question grows roots, spreading through your thoughts until it becomes a forest of uncertainty. Doubt doesn't need proof. It only needs your attention. The more you think about what could go wrong, the more powerful it becomes. It grows in the dark corners of your mind, shaping itself from every disappointment you've ever experienced and every negative word someone has ever thrown at you. Doubt is clever. It doesn't attack you all at once. It grows slowly, subtly, until you can't tell the difference between its voice and your own. There is something dangerous about doubt, because it never asks for permission. It sneaks in during the quiet hours, when you're alone with your thoughts, when no one is watching, when you're vulnerable. It takes the smallest fears you have and magnifies them until they look like reality. It tells you that your dreams are unrealistic, that your goals are too far away, that success belongs to others, not you. Doubt convinces you that staying where you are is safer than trying and failing. It whispers that you don't have what it takes, that you are not skilled enough, talented enough, or strong enough to move forward. And the moment you believe that whisper, doubt becomes a monster with sharp teeth. But doubt only becomes powerful when you give it something to eat. Every time you repeat your fears in your mind, every time you compare yourself to someone else, every time you replay your mistakes, you are feeding it. Each moment you hesitate adds fuel to its fire. The monster grows because you keep handing it pieces of yourself, your confidence, your courage, your belief. Doubt cannot grow on its own. It survives only on what you surrender to it. And the more you surrender, the more control it takes. Inside every person, doubt waits for weakness. It waits for those moments when your confidence shakes, when your progress slows, when your path becomes unclear. It waits for the exact second your spirit trembles. That is when doubt steps forward, pretending to protect you, pretending to keep you safe from failure, pretending to guide you toward comfort. But comfort is where ambition dies. Doubt thrives when you choose safety over effort, excuses over action, and fear over possibility. Survival begins when excuses end, Because every excuse you make becomes another chain that holds you down. Excuses feel harmless at first. They feel like protection, like a shield that keeps you safe from pressure, failure, or responsibility. But in reality, excuses are traps disguised as comfort. They quietly steal your strength, your ambition, and your potential without you even noticing. Every time you say, "I'll start tomorrow," a part of your drive fades. Every time you tell yourself, "I'm too tired," or "I'm not ready," you give away a piece of your power. Excuses don't just stop your progress, they convince you that standing still is acceptable. In the harshness of Death Valley, excuses don't exist. There is no time for them, no space for them, no oxygen for them to grow. The environment forces you to make a choice: push forward, or get swallowed by the heat, the silence, and your own hesitation. When you're in a place where life is tested every second, you learn quickly that excuses serve no purpose. The desert doesn't care about your reasons, your stories, or your limitations. It responds only to effort. Life works the same way. The world doesn't stop because you're tired or uncertain. It keeps moving. And if you keep making excuses, you'll always be one step behind the life you want. Excuses are born from fear, doubt, and the desire to escape discomfort. They are soft, convincing voices that tell you to take the easy path, to wait for the perfect moment, to avoid risks. But the perfect moment never comes. The easy path never leads anywhere meaningful. And risks are the only way to discover your true strength. Survival, the real kind, the kind that shapes your character, begins the moment you stop listening to excuses. When you silence that voice inside you that keeps searching for a way out, you finally unlock the ability to move forward with clarity and determination. The truth is, your excuses are never about the world outside. They come from the fears inside you. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of effort, fear of pain. Excuses grow from these fears until they become walls around your potential, blocking the very future you say you want. When you end your excuses, you tear down those walls. You stop holding yourself back. You stop waiting for motivation to arrive. You stop surrendering your progress to moments of weakness. In the silence that follows the end of excuses, something powerful happens inside you. A shift, a spark, a realization that you've been capable all along. The desert punishes the weak but transforms the brave, because a place like Death Valley does not care about your comfort or your fears. It exposes everything you try to hide. When you step into that endless stretch of burning sand and silent emptiness, there is no noise left to distract you, no excuses left to lean on, no comfort left to soften your struggle. The desert strips you down to your true self. It doesn't attack you with monsters or shadows. It challenges you with heat, distance, and isolation. It forces you to face the raw version of who you are without the masks you wear for the world. The weak crumble under its weight, not because they were born weak, but because they chose to hold on to fear instead of courage. The brave, on the other hand, are not fearless. They feel every ounce of pain, doubt, and exhaustion, but they keep moving. They understand that the desert offers only two outcomes: surrender or transformation. When the brave walk through the valley, they are pushed to their limits, tested by the unforgiving sun and the cold nights that follow. Every step becomes a decision. Every breath is a reminder of the struggle, but with each step forward, something inside them changes. The desert's harshness becomes a forge, and their determination becomes the fire that shapes them. Challenges in life mirror this same unforgiving landscape. Whenever you chase a dream, pursue a goal, or challenge your own limits, life will test you in ways that feel just as scorching and relentless as a burning desert. It will push you to moments where everything inside you wants to stop. It will drain your energy, your patience, and your hope. And in those moments, the weak will search for a way back to safety, a way out of discomfort. But the brave will understand that discomfort is part of the transformation. The desert is not there to destroy you. It is there to show you what you can become. In the heat and silence of your darkest moments, you start to uncover strengths you never knew existed. You begin to realize that courage is not the absence of pain, but the decision to continue despite it. The brave learn that every challenge adds something to them. Discipline, resilience, clarity, confidence. They come out stronger not because the journey was easy, but because it demanded everything from them. The desert punishes those who stand still, those who give up halfway, those who fear the struggle. But for those who keep moving, who endure the burning days and freezing nights, the desert becomes a place of rebirth.